Hare Krishna, welcome back to Thinking of Krishna. My name is Devesani Radhika Dasi, and today we will continue reading from Sri Caitanya Mangala by Lochandas Thakur. I have not been uploading as regularly as I thought I would be, but anyway, let's do it today. Today we will be reading Chapter 3, Gauranga's Boyhood Pastimes. So this is a long chapter, it's 20 pages long. I don't think that I will be able to complete everything today, so I will just read half of that. And that way it's probably also easier for you to watch a shorter video as well. Okay, let's begin. Oh, I got a new mic, so I'm hoping that you're able to hear me a lot more clearly, that the audio is better quality. So please let me know down in the comments if it is. Thank you. Nimai spoils Murari's lunch. In this way, the darling of Sachi played on the main road with his friends. Even when Nimai was covered with dust, he looked more beautiful than the golden Mount Sumeru. When playing with his friends, sometimes Nimai would quarrel and roll on the ground with them. One day, Gupta Vaidya, Murari Gupta, an Ayurvedic doctor, visited Navadvip accompanied by his followers. While walking down the road, they were discussing the Yoga Sastras. Vishrambar Rai, walking directly behind Murari Gupta, began mimicking Murari's way of speaking. Murari Gupta looked askance at the frivolous boy and continued talking to his followers. Gaura Hari and his friends increased their mocking of Murari by exactly imitating both his walking style and hand gestures. Noticing this, Murari Vaidya became furious and rebuked Nimai. "Who says that this boy is well behaved? I recognize him to be the son of the Brahmana Jagannath Mishra. I've heard it everywhere that people admire him and call him Nimai." Angry over Murari Gupta's criticism, Gaura Hari frowned and said, "When you take your meal today, I'll make you realize something wonderful." After hearing this equivocal statement, the bewildered Murari returned to his residence. He became absorbed in his domestic duties and forgot this incident. At noon, he sat down to peacefully take his meal. Meanwhile, Vishrambar disguised his identity by dressing opulently. He wore a magnificent cloth tied tightly around his hips and tied his hair in a triple top knot. Tulsi beads adorned his neck and 2 strands of pearls decorated his chest. Black kajal accentuated his beautiful eyes. Various golden ornaments rested on his attractive body. Ankle bells caressed his lotus feet. Holding ladus made from condensed milk in his hand, Vishrambar arrived at Murari Gupta's house. Entering the house, Gauranga said in a roaring voice, "Murari!" While sitting for his meal, Murari heard that voice and remembered what Nimai had said earlier about appearing in his home. Feeling a bit surprised, Murari said, "What are you doing?" Nimai replied, "Oh, don't get up. I am here, so just carry on with your prasad." As Murari Gupta became absorbed in taking his meal, Vishrambar slowly moved closer. Then suddenly, Nimai passed urine on Murari's plate. "What? What are you doing? Shame, shame on you!" said Murari Gupta as he quickly got up. Clapping his hands and dancing, Gauranga gleefully said, "Giving up the path of devotion, you have adopted the path of yoga. You should forget about karma and jnana and just worship Radha and Krishna with all your heart. Become a Rasika Bhakta and you'll taste the blissful mellows of loving Krishna. One attached to material things can't do Krishna bhajan, and his consciousness remains low and impure. Don't you understand these things? Lord Hari is omnipotent and full of compassion. He is the treasure and the very life of the gopis of Vrindavan. Why do you hurt the Lord by not serving him?" After saying this, Gaura Hari, the golden jewel, suddenly vanished. Murari Gupta couldn't find him anywhere. Murari thought that the well-dressed boy must have been the son of Sachimata. To verify it, he quickly went to the house of Jagannath Mishra. Due to being overwhelmed with joy, he couldn't walk properly. Meanwhile, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi were caressing, kissing, and speaking affectionately to their son Nimai. They said, "Nimai, you are our dearest treasure. You are everything to us. As soon as we see your moon-like face, we instantly forget all our miseries." Out of intense parental love, Jagannath and Sachi were both trying to hold Nimai in their laps at the same time. At that moment, Murari Gupta arrived, but being overcome with joy, he couldn't say anything to Jagannath and Sachi Devi when they welcomed him. Murari forgot everything that had happened when he beheld the beautiful face of Gaurachandra. He became stunned in ecstasy. He was covered head to toe in tiny bumps of joy. Tears flowed profusely, drenching his body. His voice faltered, and his eyes reddened like the rising sun. He fell down at the feet of Gauranga and repeatedly offered his obeisances. While watching all this, Vishwambar climbed up on Sachimata's lap. He acted as if he didn't understand what was happening. Sachimata then spoke to the elder and respected Murari Gupta. "Murari, my son needs your blessings. He must have made an offense to you. Everyone knows that you are one of the best doctors. Please tell me what offense our son has committed. Let any suffering come to us, but give us the blessing that our son may live forever." After saying this, Sachi Devi and Jagannath humbly held Murari's hand and offered their respects. Smilingly, Murari Gupta said, "Vishwambar is the supreme lord of all lords and the maintainer of the universe. In the future, the boy that you are raising will reveal his true identity to you. You are the most fortunate parents in the world. Take care of him and protect him. Heed my words. This Vishwambar is actually God." After saying this, Murari quickly left the house of Jagannath Mishra. His heart bursting with bliss, Murari went to visit Advaita Acharya, the reservoir of all good qualities and the universal teacher. Falling at Acharya's feet, Murari said, "You are the greatest devotee. You are like a desire tree that can fulfill all desires. I just saw a most wonderful boy in the home of Jagannath Mishra. His name is Nimai Pandit Vishwambar. He is totally transcendental to this material world. Yet, he plays happily with his friends just like an ordinary boy." Upon hearing this, Advaita Acharya, the jewel among the Brahmanas, let out a roaring sound. His body erupted in tiny bumps of ecstasy as he said, "Murari, listen, this is very confidential. Nimai Pandit is the reservoir of all rasas and the embodiment of transcendental beauty. He is the supreme Brahman." Then Advaita Acharya and Murari Gupta joyfully embraced and forgot everything. Lochan Das sings the glories of the Lord, who out of compassion has descended to this world. The Hari Nama game. Gaura Hari, the crest jewel among all Brahmanas, clapped his hands and danced with his boyfriends. They blissfully chanted the holy names of the Lord. One day, they made a game of Hari Nam Sankirtan. In a mood of delight, the boys chanted Haribo, Haribo, while laughing and running in a circle around Vishwambar. In a thundering voice, Gaura said, "Chant, chant, chant," and rolled on the ground. Then he sat the boys on his lap. Feeling euphoria from the touch of the Lord, the boys cried and exhibited thrill bumps all over their bodies. They clapped their hands excitedly and chanted, "Hari, Hari." The boys, surrounding the lion-like Gaura, appeared like intoxicated bees hovering above a honey-filled lotus flower. At that moment, a few pundits, learned priests, arrived to watch the sporting of Vishwambar. Lord Gauranga decorated his many friends with garlands of wild flowers. Seeing the boys happily playing and chanting Hari, Hari, the pundits began chanting and dancing along with them. Any travelers passing on the road would also join in and start dancing with abandon. Hearing the enthusiastic chanting, the village ladies with water pots on their heads ran to see the fun. Sachimata came and saw Nimai frolicking with the pundits. She called her son to sit on her lap and scolded the pundits. Sachi Devi said, "Such is the behavior of you pundits. You make someone's son go crazy, and then he dances wildly like a madman." Sachi's strong words snapped everyone out of their rapture. The onlookers said, "What did Sachi Devi say? What did she mean?" Then they pondered over her words. Sachimata collected Nimai and went home. Thus Lochan Das happily sings the glories of Lord Gauranga. Vishwarup takes sannyas. I shall now describe a conversation between Murari Gupta and Damodar Pandit. Damodar Pandit asked Murari Gupta, "Where has Vishwarup, Nimai's elder brother, gone?" Murari replied, "Listen to me, great Pandit Damodar. I will tell you whatever I know. Vishwambar, the abode of good qualities, quickly learned all the scriptures. He is expert in all Brahminical duties. He affectionately serves his parents. He is fully conversant with Vedanta, the essence of all religion. He does nothing but devotional service to Lord Vishnu. He is dear to everyone. He has achieved all perfections, yet within his heart he stays completely detached and fixed in the absolute truth." Vishwarup, the son of Jagannath Mishra, held the Shastras in his left hand and discussed Krishna Katha with his classmates. One day, while walking home, Jagannath Mishra saw this and thought, "Now my young, beautiful son is 18 years old and ready for marriage. I should make arrangements for Vishwarup's marriage." Noticing his father's meditative mood, Vishwarup thought, "It seems my father is thinking about my marriage, but I shouldn't get married. Of course, this might upset my mother." The next day at dawn, Vishwarup clasped his manuscripts and left home forever. He swam across the Ganges and took sannyas. At midday, there was still no sign of Vishwarup. Jagannath and Sachi Devi searched every house in Navadvip, but couldn't find their son. The neighbors whispered among themselves about Vishwarup's taking sannyas. When Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi heard this, they both fainted unconscious on the ground. The three worlds appeared full of darkness. Sachi Devi cried out, "Oh, my son Vishwarup, come home. I want to see you. Why did you leave everything? How will your beautiful, delicate body and tender feet tolerate the hardship of walking far and wide? You can't tolerate the slightest pain for even a moment. To whom will you present your insistent demands? When you were studying, you couldn't concentrate on your lessons. I can't go anywhere without thinking of you. When I take a bath, my mind is disturbed with the thought that you may return at any time. When I hear you calling mother, I forget everything else, for that sound is my greatest treasure. Seeing your sweet face, I no longer think of myself. I don't know what kind of suffering has caused you to neglect me and accept sannyas. Oh, my husband, go search for Vishwarup and bring him back to me. Let the people say whatever they want, but bring my son back again. I shall perform his sacred thread ceremony." Trying to pacify his bereaved wife, Jagannath Mishra said, "Please listen, Sachi Devi, don't lament. The whole material existence is false like a dream. Your son Vishwarup is a great personality. By accepting sannyas at such an early age, he will bring fortune to our family. Please bless him so he can remain fixed in his sannyas vow and progress steadily on the path of devotional service. Don't lament for his welfare. If a member of the family takes sannyas, he benefits many generations of that family. So our son has done a wonderful thing." Damodar, in this way, Jagannath and Sachi Devi consoled each other. This concludes the story of Vishwarup's sannyas. Lochan Das says that at that time Vishrambar was sitting on Sachimata's lap and gazing at his father's face. Vishrambar said, "Father, it doesn't matter where my brother Vishwarup has gone. Don't worry, I will look after you." On hearing this, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi lovingly embraced Nimai and forgot their miseries. Nimai starts school. As Nimai grew up, Jagannath Mishra thought seriously about his education. On an auspicious day and time, Jagannath placed chalk in Vishrambar's hand, the ritual to initiate a son's education. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi became satisfied to see Vishrambar, the guru of the whole world, enthusiastically studying. After some time, Nimai's parents performed his Churakarana, head-shaving ceremony. Invitations were sent to the relatives. When that auspicious day arrived, the townspeople of Nadia became joyful. Pandits chanted the proper mantras and did a fire yagya, sacrifice. The local housewives chanted Jai, Jai, while distributing perfumes, betel nuts, and sandalwood paste to the guests. Musicians made pleasant sounds with gongs, conches, shanai, mridangas, and kartals. In this way, Vishrambar observed his crown and ear-piercing ceremony. The whole town of Navadvip rejoiced upon seeing the beautiful face of Vishrambar. Everywhere, people were loudly singing the glories of Gauranga. Sachimata and Jagannath Mishra were very fortunate to have such a son who could fill everyone with bliss. To see the sweet smiling face of Gaura Hari is the greatest sight for the eyes to behold. Nimai gets in trouble. One day, Nimai was playing with his friends at a bathing ghat beside the Ganges. They invented a game of counting the footprints left in the sand by the birds. Whoever could count all the prints and reach the river's edge first won. If someone missed a footprint, he would be disqualified. The losing party would carry the winner on his shoulder. Quickly, the boys ran as fast as they could. Vishrambar perspired profusely from playing so hard. The beads of sweat on Vishrambar's golden body looked like drops of honey oozing out of a golden lotus flower. He felt embarrassed when his father came to take him home. The other boys also returned to their homes. After Vishrambar finished bathing, his father reprimanded him. Jagannath Mishra said, You've let your studies go to the dogs like a low-class boy. Even though you are the son of a Brahmana, you don't know how to properly behave. Now I'll teach you a lesson." Catching his hand, Jagannath threatened to beat Nimai Pandit with a stick. Sachimata intervened. "Wait! Don't beat my son. He won't play anymore, but he will sit with you and study the Shastras." Vishwambar ran over to Sachimata and jumped in her lap. He said softly, "I won't play, I won't play." Protecting her son, Sachi Devi sternly said, "Prabhu, don't beat my son. He's dying in fear of you." Then Sachimata, using the edge of her sari, affectionately wiped the tears from Nimai's face. Sachi said to her husband, "Let him give up his studies and become a fool. I just want him to live 100 years. Getting angry, Jagannath Mishra replied, "If your son becomes illiterate, how will he maintain himself? Which Brahmin will give his daughter to him in marriage?" Vishwambar looked fearfully at his father. Jagannath Mishra's heart was burning inside, but outwardly he kept a peaceful composure. As fatherly affection rose within his heart, tears moistened Jagannath Mishra's eyes. He threw away the stick. Taking Nimai and sitting him on his lap, he said in a sweet voice, "Listen, my son, if you study nicely, the people will praise you, and I will give you bananas." Jagannath Mishra's dream. Gradually, the day faded into evening. That night, Jagannath Mishra had an amazing dream. The next day, he felt perplexed about the dream and told his friends about it. Jagannath said, "Last night, I saw a well-built Brahmana with an effulgence as bright as the sun. The dazzling jewels and ornaments decorating his body made it impossible to look at him." In a thundering voice like a cloud, that Brahmana said, "Why do you think that Vishwambar is your son? You don't know that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead? An animal can't understand the potency of a touchstone. How dare you look upon me as your son? I know all scriptures, and I am the guru of the demigods. Why did you take a stick in your hand to beat me?" So you can understand from that dream why I feel perplexed. I have no idea what it means. Sachi Devi and the others looked at the face of Vishwambar and became very joyful. Placing Vishwambar on their laps, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata addressed their friends. "The greatness of our son Gaura Hari is beyond the reach of the Vedas. He is beyond the power of Shiva, Sanaka, and other rishis. Our son Gauranga is such a glorious personality." While saying this, the sweet mood of parental love overwhelmed Sachi Devi and Jagannath. This removed any trace of Aishwarya Bhava, the formal mood of awe and reverence. Everyone became ecstatic upon hearing Jagannath Mishra's dream. Lochan Das happily sings the glories of Gauranga. Vishwambar's Sacred Thread Ceremony. Gaura's pastimes continually flooded the city of Nadia with an ocean of bliss. The whole universe couldn't contain the happiness and fortune of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, nor can anyone describe it. One day, when his well-behaved son turned 9 years, Jagannath Mishra decided to award him the sacred thread. Calling an astrologer, he and his wife picked an auspicious day for Vishwambar's Brahminical initiation. Jagannath invited the relatives and asked for their blessings. He also invited Advaita Acharya, the well-known scholar expert in all Vedic rituals. Jagannath Mishra distributed betel nuts, sandalwood paste, and flower garlands to the visiting brahmanas. The village ladies exchanged vermilion, and Sachi gave them katechu, bananas, and oils mixed with turmeric. At dusk, amidst the sound of conch shells, ululating, and ecstatic chants of Jai, Jai, the Adhivas ceremony took place. Brahmanas recited auspicious verses, and the court gestures sang lively songs. Some Brahmanas gave blessings to Vishwambar according to Shastric rules. Early the next morning, Jagannath Mishra performed the Nandi Mukha, a ceremony of obsequies done before an auspicious event like marriage, and the Shraddha ceremonies. After washing the feet of the Brahmanas, he started the sacrifice exactly on time. First, Sachi Devi, along with the local ladies, rubbed turmeric oil on Gaura's body. Then she rubbed amalaki oil in his hair and bathed her son with Ganges water. While doing this, Sachi became overwhelmed, losing herself in bliss. Gongs, mridangas, conch shells, kartals, and other musical instruments softened the scene with celestial sounds. The thunderous vibration of the dhaka, big wooden drum, could be heard from miles around. Hearts were swaying to the sounds of the shanai. Venas, flutes, and pakowajas, wooden drums, resounded harmoniously. Dancers and singers performed joyously as Vishwambar's head was shaved. Sandalwood paste and garlands adorned his golden limbs. The Brahmanas chanted Vedic hymns when Vishrambar sat in the sacrificial arena. They dressed him in red cloth and gave him the sacred thread. Vishrambar's indescribable transcendental beauty relieved Cupid of his pride. Jagannath Mishra whispered the Gayatri mantra into his son's ear. When Nimai took a stick in his hand, it struck fear into the heart of sin personified. After the ceremony, Vishrambar begged alms, a custom of one in the sannyas ashram, the topmost of the 4 ashrams. Gauranga and the Yuga avatars. While Vishrambar's head was being shaved during his Brahminical initiation, he reflected on the Yuga Dharma of the age of Kali. He was thinking how soon he would take sannyas and preach Harinama Sankirtan to relieve the suffering humanity in Kali Yuga. Suddenly, Vishrambar's body erupted in ecstasy. Horripilation caused the hairs all over his body to stand erect, making them appear like the spike-shaped petals of golden kadamba flowers. His expanded eyes, brimming with compassion, looked like full-blooming lotus flowers. His body shone like the rising sun. Diving in the ecstatic ocean of prema, Gaura Hari let out a loud roar. Brahmana priests became filled with amazement. After deliberating for some time, Sudarshan and the other big pundits concluded that Gaura Hari was not a mortal being. Perhaps he was a demigod. However, his astoundingly brilliant effulgence indicated that he is none other than the Supreme Lord Govinda himself. One pundit postulated, "What do we realize about the qualities and behavior of the Supreme Lord? We can only approximate with our puny intelligence." A second Brahmin said, "Listen, I may not understand the activities of Gauranga, but I do know that he appears in every age to deliver the conditioned souls. He reestablishes religious principles, destroys the miscreants, and delivers the devotees by appearing in each of the 4 yugas." The Brahmin continued, "Incarnations like Sri Ram and others who come to destroy the demons are called Karya-avatars. In Treta Yuga, the Lord takes a red-colored form to teach the religion of yajna, sacrifice. In some Treta Yugas, however, the Lord appears as Lord Ramachandra. His transcendental body is the color of fresh green grass. Lord Ram forms an alliance with forest monkeys to vanquish the demon Ravana. Many Treta Yugas have passed, but they're not all the same. In Satya Yuga, the Hamsa avatar of the Lord was white, and austerity was the Yuga Dharma. According to the Yuga, the Lord appears in a particular color. Such incarnations which re-establish religion are called Yuga avatars. Please listen attentively as I describe Lord Sri Krishna who appeared in Dvapara Yuga. Although Sri Krishna, the darling son of Nanda Maharaj, came alone, all the other incarnations and expansions of Godhead were contained within him. For this reason, Krishna is known as Purna Brahma, the most perfect form, the supreme personality of Godhead. Also, Sri Krishna is the transcendental paramour lover of the Vraja Gopis. When the Krishna avatar, the crest jewel and essence of all incarnations, appears in a particular Dwapara Yuga, that Dwapara Yuga is the best of Dwaparas. In other Dwapara Yugas, 2 incarnations appear called Karya and Yuga avatars. Lord Krishna does not appear in every Dwapara Yuga. Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears to preach Krishna consciousness in that particular Kali Yuga directly following the Dwapara Yuga in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, appears. The 2 special yugas wherein Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya appear are called Svatantra. Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya don't appear in every Dwapara and Kali Yuga. In other Dwapara Yugas, Krishna appears in expanded forms, but not in his original form. People receive great fortune in the Dvapara and Kali Yugas, wherein both Krishna and Gauranga appear. Krishna and Gauranga perform their transcendental pastimes only once in a day of Lord Brahma. During the reign of the Vaivashvata Manvantara, Lord Shyamasundar came as Lord Gauranga. Lord Gauranga worships Lord Krishna, the Lord of Dwapara, by doing Harinam Sankirtan. Kali Yuga is glorious, the topmost amongst yugas, because everyone can easily perform the Yuga Dharma of chanting the holy names in Sankirtan. Lord Chaitanya delivers the lame, blind, and invalid by inducing them to chant Hare Krishna. Please believe my words. When the Lord appears as a Yuga avatar, he serves a particular purpose according to the needs of that specific Yuga. In Dvapara Yuga, Lord Sri Krishna comes as a Yuga avatar. By what activities did he establish the Yuga Dharma? Scriptures say that temple worship is the religious process for Dwapara Yuga. When and where did Lord Krishna establish temple worship? Pay attention and I will clarify this matter. The Lord himself, the completely independent Supreme Being, decides whether he'll establish the Yuga Dharma or simply enjoy pleasure pastimes. The wonderful thing is that he did everything at once. In order to perform pastimes in the form of Radha and Krishna, the Lord manifested his form of Gauranga. Radharani is the form of Krishna's divine Hladini Shakti. She is individual, independent, and separate from Krishna. Radha and Krishna have only one body, but they have separated as two persons in order to perform pastimes. Lord Gauranga takes the name of Radha and joins with the gopis to serve Krishna. Radharani and the gopis, who are her personal expansions, serve Sri Krishna with pure transcendental love. However, Srimati Radharani alone is the personification of Krishna's Swarupa Shakti. Radha feels that her love is always fresh, new and ever increasing. The Srimad Bhagavatam declares that this mood of loving service is hard to understand. In other Dwapara Yugas, the Lord established religion by encouraging vows, charity, and meditation. The people, though, fail to capture the essence of religion, which is pure love of God. In the age of Kali, Lord Krishna came as Lord Gauranga specifically to give pure love of God to everyone. Assuming the molten gold color of Srimati Radharani and her mood of pure love within his heart, Krishna himself appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Kali Yuga. Covered by Radha's mood, Lord Chaitanya cries out in love. His body continually exhibits ecstatic symptoms like horripilation and changing bodily color from gold to pink. Sometimes Gora roars to awaken the sleeping souls of Kali Yuga. People experience real joy when they embrace Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. After accepting the transcendental names of Radha and Krishna, they begin chanting, dancing, crying, and laughing in ecstasy. Soon they emerge from the darkness of ignorance and see the transcendent reality of blissful spiritual life. The Supreme Lord came in the form of Gauranga to make the world God-conscious. Adopting a humble mood, he teaches the science of loving Krishna. Lord Gaurasundar takes pleasure in giving himself to others. Even without being asked, he gives away Krishna Prema to everyone without discrimination. For this reason, this Yuga avatar is called a complete incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In previous Kali Yugas, the Supreme Lord came in the form of Lord Narayan. The two-syllable word Krishna is the name of the avatar who appeared with the color of a parrot's wing feathers, bright yellow. Commentators say that this person is also the color of blue sapphires. The Gauranga avatar contains all the unlimited expansions of God within him. No other incarnation matches Gaura's compassion. The Shastras say that in Kali Yuga, the Lord takes a golden form and spreads the Sankirtan movement. This Lord is none other than Vishwambar. Learned Pandits have concluded that the Lord reveals particular aspects of himself according to time and circumstances. People whisper about Gauranga being the Supreme Lord, and now this idea is spreading everywhere. Some people remain doubtful, but almost all are astonished by Gaurahari's incredible pastimes. Yet others who heard about him saw Vishwambar as the Lord of the universe. Rejoicing over Gaurahari's activities, the whole town of Nadia shouted, Jai, Jai! Lochan Das happily sings the glories of Lord Gauranga. Jai. So we will finish reading today. It's about halfway through chapter 3, and we will finish reading the rest of chapter 3 next time. Thank you so much for reading along or listening. Hare Krishna, see you next time.